Did you ever wonder how a simple box in your living room could bring the entire world to you? The journey of television is a truly amazing story. It is a tale of brilliant ideas and persistent inventors. This device, now so common, was once just a wild dream. People imagined sending pictures through the air, much like they sent sound with the radio. It seemed like magic, a fantasy from a science fiction novel. But some believed it was possible. The idea of seeing at a distance fascinated scientists and thinkers for many decades. Long before the first working television was built, the concept was already taking shape. Imagine a world without moving pictures in your home. News traveled slowly, often through newspapers or word of mouth. Entertainment was found in theaters, books, or live performances. The thought of having instant visual information and entertainment beamed directly into households was revolutionary. It promised to connect people in ways never before imagined. This promise fueled the quest to turn this fantastic idea into a tangible reality for everyone. Television did not just appear overnight. The dream of television began long before the technology existed. In the late 19th century, scientists discovered that selenium changed its electrical conductivity when exposed to light. This was a key piece of the puzzle. It suggested that light could be converted into an electrical signal. This signal, perhaps, could then be sent over wires. People started to imagine devices that could scan an image and transmit it. These were the very first tentative steps towards what we now know as television. One of an early important invention was the Nipkow disc, created by Paul Nipkow in Germany in 1884. This was a mechanical scanning device. It was a spinning disc with a spiral pattern of holes in it. As the disc spun, each hole would scan one line of an image. This allowed the brightness of successive points to be measured. The Nipkow disc became the basis for most early mechanical television systems. However, these systems had many problems. The images they produced were very small, very dim, and flickered badly. A Scottish inventor named John Logie Baird was a key figure in mechanical television. He was persistent and dedicated to making television work. The true breakthrough for television came with electronic scanning. This new approach promised much higher image quality. A young American inventor named Philo T. Farnsworth played a crucial role. As a teenager, he had an idea for an electronic television system. He imagined a way to scan an image using a beam of electrons instead of a mechanical disc. This was a revolutionary concept. Farnsworth worked tirelessly, often with limited funds, to bring his vision to life. His dedication would change the course of television history. In 1927, at the age of just 21, Farnsworth successfully demonstrated the first fully electronic television system. He transmitted a simple image, a straight line, using his invention, the image dissector camera tube. This device could capture an image and convert it into an electronic signal. Another tube, the cathode ray tube, CRT, was used in the receiver to display the image. This was a monumental achievement. It proved that electronic television was not just a theory, but a practical possibility. Farnsworth's system was the direct ancestor of the television technology that would dominate for decades. Around the same time, another powerful player entered the television race, RCA, the Radio Corporation of America. RCA was led by David Sarnoff, a visionary who saw the immense potential of television. RCA invested heavily in television research, led by scientist Vladimir Zworykin. After World War II ended, television experienced an incredible boom in popularity. Soldiers returned home, families reunited, and economies began to grow. People were eager for new forms of entertainment and information. Television sets, which had been a luxury item, started to become more affordable. Manufacturing ramped up to meet the surging demand. By the early 1950s, millions of homes in countries like the United States and the United Kingdom had a television. The glowing screen quickly became the new centerpiece of the living room, a modern hearth around which families gathered. This period, roughly from the late 1940s to the early 1960s, is often called the golden age of television. It was a time of great creativity and innovation in programming. Many classic television genres emerged and flourished. There were live anthology dramas, which presented new plays each week with different actors. Popular sitcoms like I Love Lucy brought laughter into homes. Variety shows hosted by stars like Milton Berle and Ed Sullivan offered a mix of music, comedy, and performance. Westerns, quiz shows, and children's programs also became staples of early television. Television programming during this era often aimed to appeal to the entire family. While black and white television captivated audiences, the dream of seeing the world on screen in full color was always present. Inventors and engineers knew that color would make the viewing experience much more realistic and engaging. The challenge, however, was immense. Developing a practical color television system that was compatible with existing black and white sets was a complex technical hurdle. Early attempts at color television dated back to the 1920s, even using mechanical systems. But these were not successful for widespread use. The quest for color was a long and difficult one. Several competing systems for color television were proposed in the late 1940s and early 1950s. One early system developed by CBS used a spinning color wheel. While it produced good color images, it was not compatible with the millions of black and white TV sets already in homes. This meant that black and white sets would not be able to receive color broadcasts at all, not even in monochrome. This incompatibility was a major drawback. The industry needed a solution that would allow new color broadcasts to be viewed on old sets in black and white and on new color sets in full color. As television technology matured, its reach began to expand far beyond its initial strongholds in North America and Europe. Countries around the world started to establish their own television broadcasting services. Satellites played a crucial role in this global expansion, allowing television signals to be transmitted across continents and oceans. Major global events like the Olympics or World Cup tournaments could now be watched live by a worldwide audience. Television became a powerful tool for cultural exchange, though often dominated by content from a few major producing nations. This brought new perspectives but also concerns about cultural homogenization. Alongside this global spread, new technologies began to give viewers more control over their television experience. One simple but revolutionary invention was the remote control. First introduced in the 1950s, early remotes were often clunky and connected by a wire. Wireless remotes, becoming common in the 1970s and 1980s, truly changed viewing habits. Viewers could now easily switch channels without getting up from their seats. This led to the phenomenon of channel surfing and put more pressure on broadcasters to keep viewers engaged moment by moment. The remote was a small device with a big impact on interaction. For many decades, the cathode ray tube, or CRT, was the heart of every television set. These large, heavy glass tubes used an electron beam to paint images onto a phosphorescent screen. While CRTs produced good quality images, they had significant drawbacks. They were bulky, deep, and consumed a lot of power. As screen sizes increased, the size and weight of CRT televisions became increasingly impractical. For a long time, the big box in the corner of the room was just a fact of life for television owners. But engineers were already dreaming of thinner, lighter displays. The quest for flat-panel displays led to several new technologies. Plasma display panels were among the first to offer large, flat screens with good picture quality, especially deep blacks and wide viewing angles. However, they were expensive, consumed considerable power, and could suffer from burn-in issues. Liquid crystal display, or LCD technology, initially common in watches and calculators, was adapted for larger television screens. LCD TVs were thinner, lighter, and more energy efficient than plasma or CRT sets. Early LCDs had issues with motion blur and viewing angles, but the technology improved rapidly. The next major step in screen technology was the introduction of light-emitting diodes, or LEDs, as a backlight for LCD screens often marketed as LED TVs. The internet began to merge with television at the turn of the 21st century. Faster internet and better video compression enabled web-based TV content. This gave birth to streaming services. Netflix transitioned from DVD rentals to streaming. Others like Hulu and Amazon Prime Video followed. Streaming disrupted traditional TV. Viewers could access content anytime. Binge-watching became popular. The power shifted to viewers. Subscription models allowed ad-free viewing. TVs became smarter. Smart TVs with built-in apps became the norm. Users could stream directly from their TVs. The evolution of television is far from over. AI could create personalized recommendations and assist in show creation. Interactive TV will become more sophisticated, with viewer reactions influencing the plot. Imagine immersive experiences with holographic projections, bringing characters into our living rooms. If you learned something new, give this video a like, and hit subscribe for more mind-opening stories every week.